All right, so finally here is a review of the 17th century Italian rapier by Windlass Steelcrafts. And Eric is helping me out here. In case you don't know Eric Bailey, he's the head instructor at the local HEMA school, Blood and Iron, Victoria.
That's right.
And he has some experience teaching rapier. So I figured it would be good to get his opinion as well. So let's start with a first impression. Since my first impression was already done in another video, what is yours, having just picked this up?
First thing I noticed is right in here, this little triangular formation. I really like it when rapiers have this. However, this one is chunky and actually flares out to the point where it's really uncomfortable to grip.
That's also the first thing that I noticed when picking this up. Like, since you put the index finger over the guard, that's just kind of in the way. I mean, it feels kind of off. Also with the thumb up there, it's not really a big deal, but it's kind of odd. Like,
yeah.
If you compare that to other rapiers, that's usually a lot flatter and thinner.
The hilt on this thing looks rather large, and I actually like that. My knuckles, they stick out quite a bit. There's like a finger width between my knuckle and the hilt on the back here. If this was much smaller, I probably wouldn't be able to use this sword at all. Oh,
and of course, the elephant in the room is this right here. I've modified this. As it comes, it's got a point, but it's unsharpened. I did some tests with it, and this thing is so floppy that it doesn't really work very well as a sharp.
I mean, I like this as a sparring width, despite the fact that the edge is less than 1 millimeter thick. As far as sparring, I think that's a good size. As a sharp,
yeah,
no.
Really, at this point, it becomes just a thrusting blade.
Exactly.
I mean, sure, you could still cut with it, but it wouldn't be great.
No.
The flexibility is really what kills it in that regard, as far as I'm concerned. Like, no, this is not okay for I mean, it's it's not sharp to begin with. Everything, all blades made in India because of local regulations cannot be sharpened. They have to ship them out like this, so it's not actually blunt. Like I said, this is about 1 millimeter.
Maybe less.
In fact, it might be a bit less. It might be like 0.8 or something like that. So for a practice rapier, I was planning to grind this down some more, but I wanted to do the review first. But the flexibility is good as a practice. So what I did was I cut off the point and filed it and polished and everything. And then I put, what was it again? Coin, I think, in the end of the rubber blunt to make extra sure that it doesn't poke through, and then with the rubber tip it's perfectly safe for thrusts.
Yeah, with a blade this wide, you couldn't use a bullet casing. That's a thing a lot of people do is on their rapiers they'll put a bullet casing inside the rubber blunt, and it really keeps it safer. Not a live round.
Yes.
Bullet casing.
The blade is made of 1065 high carbon steel, by the way, which is perfectly good choice, and the assembly is a nut construction. So this piece right here at the end is the nut holding it all together. It's unfortunately not the type that you can tighten easily. Like I generally like to have a hex nut or something that you can actually easily manually tighten if need be.
You're gonna have to have a pair of good strong pliers for that.
Yeah, you would need some, I don't know, locking pliers or something for this, or just a vise. It's a bit of a missed opportunity. At the same time, it looks better than a hex nut. As far as aesthetics are concerned, it's pretty good considering the price range. It is a budget sword. Anything under $300 is generally budget.
Yeah, I mean, it's got a nice wire wrap on the handle.
Yeah, this is actually silver-plated wire. It's been wrapped around, so that's nice.
Yeah. Decent pommel.
The blade is a pretty high polish. It's almost a mirror polish, but not really. If you look at originals, they're usually highly decorated. But of course, that's the kind of thing that you can't really do in a budget sword. You have to cut the cost somewhere, and that's one way. But for that, the silver wire looks pretty good, and it is tight.
Yeah.
That can be a concern sometimes, and it loosens up.
One thing I noticed is the grip is almost comically long. You can hold this with a handshake grip without having your finger on the ricasso. It's big enough. The rapier that I use, the grip is probably 2 inches shorter, and I don't have small hands. So I can only imagine a few people that I know who could possibly fill this whole grip.
In comparison, here's a Hanway rapier. That's an older one, right?
Oh yeah, this one's probably 13, 14 years old by now. You can see actually one of the quillons is bent.
And this, generally, Hanway and Windlass have a reputation for very flexible blades on their rapiers, like too flexible.
Well, this one is old enough that it's not nearly as flexible as their newer ones.
Right.
This was made before the factory fire that they had. So it was still a fairly decent blade. But
what are you doing, Loki?
This is Loki. Hi, Loki.
Extra casual review. But it's enhanced by a bit of fuzz. This is a lot thinner on the Hanway than on the Windlass.
Yeah, this one almost tapers outwards, whereas this one tapers inwards.
It does, basically. It does, well,
just a
not
touch.
really. It looks like it flares because it's essentially, it's like a square almost that has then been shaped to get this sort of point here. But I do prefer the wire wrap on the Windlass over the Hanway. This is
a much finer wire.
Yeah, it's finer wire. It's smoother. This one here sticks out. I mean, sure, it gives you more of a grip, but it's not really necessary. You're gonna practice with gloves anyway, and the pommel on this one I definitely prefer over the Hanway.
Yeah, the pommel on the Hanway is one of my least favorite parts of it.
The good thing about this is it's very light. Like you can practice with this all day.
I mean, lengthwise, that'd be a really good cutting rapier. If I was fighting in, say, a tournament. I mean, a few years ago, I think it was 2016 at Combat Con, I fought with a 34-inch rapier blade. It was great fun, but I prefer, 42.
Yeah, so blade presence on this, not so much.
What is the length on that blade?
I think this is a 39.
That's about right, yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
39 inch. And so the flexibility, again, even for practice, is almost a bit much.
You're actually going to bend it right where the fuller ends.
Yep.
That's where it's going to fail.
In fact, just bending this back and forth, it's already taken a set.
Yep.
That's not really a good sign. I'm not even bending this over my knee or anything. I'm just the way it would flex naturally, because that's unreasonable to just forcefully bend it over your knee and expect it to stay true. It's not going to happen, but it's not staying straight.
No. For lighter practice, this might be okay, but I wouldn't even want to use it for sparring.
Dry handing it is quite nice. The balance is good. Let's compare balance on this. Yeah, it's right above the top ring of the hilt. Yeah, that one is balanced a little further away. So this one here is very nimble, very easy to maneuver. You can cut with it too. Again, for practice, this wouldn't cut terribly well, even if you did sharpen it, I think.
Yeah.
But it feels good. It looks pretty decent.
It's not going to fall apart like a wall hanger.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely something I can say. The fit is quite good. Like when looking at the gap here, there isn't much.
No, there's no rattle or anything. It all fits nice and tight.
It's properly put together, and overall, it's pretty well shaped. It's just for practical purposes, it's got some issues. But let's end it with some more vigorous thrusts. We have Bob downstairs, and we might as well put him to work.
All right. Sorry, Bob.
You gonna get stabbed, boy. This is such a, I don't know, garage band feel.
Yeah.
In here with that lighting and everything, it's kind of funny. Indie Productions.
Bam.
Oh, wow. That is one hell of a flex.
Well, there's your problem.
Oh, there we go. Yep.
Nope.
I mean, that's what a helmet is supposed to do. Good one. Right in the forehead.
Yeah, it's always bending right here.
Oh yeah, right where the fuller ends, yeah.
Yep.
Okay. All right, so from what I can tell, the blade on this rapier is just a little too soft. Either it wasn't properly hardened or it was tempered just too much. But it's not just that, it's also the blade profile, the geometry. This is lenticular in cross-section. It's quite a narrow blade, and it's also relatively thin. In order to increase the rigidity of this blade and make it more effective for thrusts, it would be good to make it a little thicker and also give it more of a diamond cross-section. So have more thickness in the center and then a steeper angle toward the edges. So overall, would I recommend this rapier? It really depends on your purpose. If you're looking for something to practice historical martial arts with, there are definitely better options. I would highly recommend saving up for a rapier from dark wood. If you want something for light testing, it's okay. And if you want an affordable collector's rapier, it's pretty good, actually. For that, I can certainly recommend it because it handles quite well. It's very light, it's well balanced. It looks pretty good. And considering the price range, the issues with this blade are very common in this price range. I've seen that over and over again in tests and reviews. So it is a case of you get what you pay for. If I had to put a rating on it, I would probably say 6 out of 10. And this was sent to me for review, by the way, for free, which as you can tell, didn't really influence my opinion. I wasn't sugarcoating it. It's got some issues. It's also got some good things about it, of course. So it's sort of middle ground, probably slightly above average. And yeah, hope you found the review helpful. Thanks for watching and have a good one, folks.